Hey everyone, this is Nick Molina with Embrace Tutoring. In this video, we'll be covering number 30 from the Calculator Math section of the College Board Practice Test 10. Remember, these videos provide additional explanations and content review, but you'll always want to attempt the problems independently. Before we begin, do us a favor and subscribe to the link below to receive the most recent videos and practice problems. Okay, let's get started. So it says, in quadrilateral ABCD above, segment AD is parallel to segment BC. So we can denote that in our picture with some arrows. And CD is equal to 1/2 of AP. So I'm just going to put that in here, 1/2 of AB. What is the measure of angle B? All right, so the first thing I notice is that angle B is obtuse. So there's no way that it can be 90 degrees. So answer choice D is out. Okay. Now there's actually a few ways to solve this question. I'm going to go through two different solutions, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is just draw a line straight down here, because what that does for me is it creates a triangle over here on the left. Now I know that this length is also 1/2 AB of the triangle. Okay, which gives me that this has to be 90 degrees. All right? Because I've kind of formed like a little square here. I can tell that is also going to be 90 degrees because of the parallel lines. All right, so now I know that the measure of angle B, I know at least part of it is 90 degrees. So now I just need to find the missing part, this part right here that I've highlighted. All right, so now this is going to require some right triangle trigonometry. So if you're not familiar with that, we're kind of going to be using SOHCAHTOA here, some relationships between the sides and angles of a right triangle. We're going to be focusing on cosine right now, which is the ka, which is going to be your adjacent side over your hypotenuse side here. So we're going to write here that the cosine of that angle B is going to equal the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now the adjacent in this case is 1/2 AB, and the hypotenuse is just AB. Now what that gives us is AB is canceled, so we're left with 1/2. So I know that cosine of B equals 1/2. Now, we need to know how to find these angles, okay? So in order to undo cosine, we can't divide by cosine. Cosine and B are attached. So what we can do is we can take the cosine inverse of both sides. So we're going to take the cosine inverse of the left side, and we're going to take the cosine inverse of the right side. Now cosine inverse and cosine cancel out, so what I'm left with is angle B is equal to the cosine inverse of 1/2. Okay, now here's where your calculator is going to come in. Cosine inverse is right above the cosine button, so you're going to hit second cosine, and you're going to type in 1/2. Now you do have to make sure that your calculator mode is in degrees, because our problem here is in degrees. So if we hit enter, we get 60 degrees. If you don't get 60 degrees, it means your calculator is not in degree measure. All right, so that missing angle here is 60 degrees, which means our answer is 150, which is answer choice A. All right, if you want to stick around and see an alternate solution using a 30, 60, 90 triangle, then hang out, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to draw that right triangle off to the side. All right. Now there's a relationship between any triangle that has 30, 60, and 90 degrees inside of it. Across some 30 degrees is going to be x. Across some the 60 is going to be that value x times the square root of 3. And then the hypotenuse is always going to be 2x. So if we can take a look at our diagram here, we can tell, I'm just going to erase some highlights here. We can tell that one side of the triangle is 1/2 of AB, and the other side is just AB. So if we can identify that that's half of the hypotenuse, that's the relationship in a 30, 60, 90 triangle between its hypotenuse and its shortest side. It's always half the length. So if you could identify that, then you would have been able to fill in that this was a 30, 60, 90 triangle. and you would have been able to find that 90 degrees that 60 degrees a little quicker than having to solve this equation down here. Okay, and that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about this solution, or if you solved this one in a different way, please be sure to put them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.